This is Danny Gould with the Gould team, selling Silicon Valley, here today with Bryan Emmert, the principal here at Fremont High School in Sunnyvale.
Correct.
Fremont High School in Sunnyvale. Bryan, thank you so much for joining me.
Sure, great.
All right, so why don't we go ahead and start off by introducing yourself and telling those that are watching a little bit about yourself and your history.
Okay. My name is Bryan Emmert. This is my 21st year in the district here at Fremont Union High School District. I was an English teacher at Cupertino High School, assistant principal at Monte Vista High School, and then spent some time at the district office. As my parents here know, and they hear me talk about just about every year, I have two kids in the Cupertino Elementary District, 4th grade and kindergarten this year, and they're going to be future Firebirds. So a lot of the work I do here, I think about what's going to be good for them as they get here.
That's great. That's great. Okay, great. And then in terms of Fremont High School, tell us a little bit about the history. I know that it has a rich history. It's been here for a long time. Some may say maybe even here before Fremont the city. So who has claim to that name, right? So tell us a little bit about the history of the school.
Sure. Yeah, so go back and forth whether we're here or the city was here first. But Fremont High School opened its doors in 1923. So we're coming up on almost our 100-year anniversary in just a few years. And we were one of the original high schools in the area. So back when it was open, it was Mountain View High School, San Jose High School, a couple others around that time, and then a whole bunch of other schools have come up since then. Even within our district, we're now 5 schools. At one point, we were up to 6 schools, and that decreased back in the 1980s when enrollment dropped. But over the years, the student population and neighborhood areas have changed. When they closed Sunnyvale High School, it redrew the boundaries a little bit, and we're growing again. So in the district right now, we're at around 11,000, a little over 11,000 students in the district, which is up even the 20 years that I've been here. Current population here is 2,100, and the expectation by the 2021 is to be right around 2,500. So we're in the process right now of building a brand new office building and another 15 to 20 classrooms to prepare for that growth.
That's incredible. So that's 9 through 12,
Correct.
Right? So that's about 600 or so per class?
Yeah, it tends to be a little higher on the lower grades. The upper grades a little bit lower because as that population is increasing, it increases as they come in,
right,
and then carries on its way up. So each year our graduating class gets a little bit bigger as it grows coming in as freshmen.
Awesome. So how would you describe the school to perhaps a potential home buyer, somebody that's looking to purchase in the within the zoning boundaries of the school? How would you describe it to them?
Well, one of the things is I use the words of my superintendent where she talks to groups outside is we like to call it kind of the hidden jewel of the Bay Area, because the thing that's really nice about Fremont High School is it has such a broad spectrum of students that are here. You really get a nice slice of life. So whether it's someone coming in who wants to take a full round of advanced classes and take AP tests, we've got classes for them. If it's kids who come in and need support, we have students for them. I was speaking to the class of 1967 on Saturday, and I looked at again, I talked about not having a ton of statistics, but 18% of our students are English learners, 13.5% receive special education supports, and then 33% currently financially disadvantaged. 24 different countries of record, 47 different home languages, but then the flip side, we have 28 different advanced honors and AP classes. So we've got this range, 28.
28.
So one of the things when we did a look at course offerings just about 2 years ago, Fremont was tied with Monte Vista with the highest number of different honors and advanced classes. We had the most different classes because we have this range of students. So again, whether students need support, they need to be pushed, they're ready to take on the highest level of challenges, we have opportunities for those students here. And we have an amazing teaching staff. We have a real nice partnership with the Stanford School of Education. So we have anywhere from 6 to 15 student teachers on campus every year.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of times we transition some of those teachers in as permanent staff as openings come up. And it's an amazing place because I watch the teaching staff here, and unlike what can happen at some other places, they really teach. They really teach to a range of students, and again, it makes it a special place.
That's great. So I know that you talked a little bit about your kids and how they're going to be future Firebirds, right? And clearly you have a trajectory, right, in your mind. So how do you see the next 5 years playing out?
So we want to continue to develop the sequences of our courses. A big focus of our district is around what we call PLC work, professional learning community work. So where we really drill down to a particular course level. So teachers that are teaching ninth grade English, or teachers that are teaching algebra, or teachers that are teaching U.S. history are working together to really hone in on what's the most important, the essential standards for that class, and how do we ensure that all students are meeting them. Because we have a lot of great teachers in the district independently, but we believe that the more they can work together, the stronger they are. So that's really a focus of our work, to really say, how do these teams work together to give teachers the freedom to their actual teaching in the class. Sorry.
That's all good.
They're teaching in the class, but adhering to the same high levels of standards for all kids. And that's going to be tied into the construction that's going on as we open up. We're going to open up 2 new science labs. We're going to open up some larger classrooms where it allows math classes to do some things maybe slightly differently than they've done with some of the grouping. There's some areas for grouping that they don't have right now. So we really want to rely on the strength of our teaching staff to continue to move the work forward, because in the 7 years I've been here, I've seen it really progress quite a bit, and I want to continue to see that forward, because, like I said, we have an amazing staff, and they really take pride in the work that they're doing with kids.
That's great. So I'm just wondering here, Bryan, what is it that you feel makes Fremont stand out? Perhaps something that anybody that's watching at home, they're just perusing online, may not gather or gain from any sort of internet findings, but something that you hold as valuable.
I think the big thing for Fremont is that there's something here for every kid. And sometimes if you look at the aggregate, because we have a large number of special ed students, we have a large number of English learners, we have a large number of socioeconomically disadvantaged students, when you look at the aggregate, sometimes it doesn't compare as favorably to other schools. Mm-hmm. But when you really look at the experience that your kid's going to have wherever they are when they come in, I think you'll find that the school compares very favorably. And one of the things that we do differently here than some of the other schools in our district is we have a series of shadow days in the spring. So incoming prospective freshmen get a chance to get paired up with someone who has similar interests that they might. So they spend a day on our campus going to classes, seeing other kids, seeing the teachers, and then we provide a lot of information to parents, including one of the things, my reference to the parents all the time is have conversations with the current parents here. Because when I started here, 7+ years ago, I was told by the PTA president at the time, and I say it all the time, the people who we find that don't like Fremont are the people who don't know Fremont. And once you come in and you start to see what your kids can experience, again, whether it's classes for support, whether it's taking higher level classes, whether it's playing sports, whether it's being in clubs, there's a wealth of opportunities that are available for students to do whatever they want to do. I mean, I still remember when I first started here, having grown up in this area, going to high school and worked at other high schools, and I loved my experience at all of them, but early on I saw it was the quarterback of the football team and sort of the star of the drama productions hanging out together. I thought, that's a weird combination. You don't necessarily see that. And one of the things I found over my time here is that while there are still student groups, people are going to tend to hang out with people they're more comfortable with, those boundaries are so much more blurred, and so people really have a nice representation of the benefits that difference can bring. And I think that's really, really valuable to go along with the learning experience they're going to have in the classroom. That's
amazing. I mean, it's just as much what you learn outside, right, as what you learn inside. So that's great.
Yeah.
That's great that there's that diversity, right? So, maybe slightly shifting a little bit to perhaps, I know that you worked at the district as well, right? So maybe you have some insights on the district that you can provide, maybe some improvements that you feel the district might be able to make or this school might be able to make?
Well, I know one of the areas that we're working on both at the school and the district is to really revamp and improve our career technical education offerings. Mm-hmm. So on our school site, we offer automotive tech, we offer culinary, we offer a range of business classes, and then there's some other computer programming classes, digital design classes through an organization called Project Lead the Way. And one of the things that we're trying to do as both a school and a district is to really make them more programmatic so that we have entry-level courses all the way through capstone courses so that we can be more specialized. So rather than just offering a bunch of one-and-done classes where students can go and in some cases maybe even get some certification that they could then take on. They're going to go on to university or community college, or in some cases if they want to get involved in the culinary field and they're not going to go the college route, they have certification to get higher-end employment within the field of culinary opportunities. So that's definitely an area of focus for the district.
Nice. That's so great. So let's see. In terms of, kind of piggybacking off of that, perhaps some of the biggest strengths that the district possesses, and Fremont as well.
I would say the biggest strength. Oh, it's so many strengths. I mean, this is an amazing district. I've been here my whole career, and I can't imagine, at least at this point in my career, ever wanting to leave, because the relationships between all of our different employee associations, the administrative association, the teachers association, and the classified association, has been a strength as long as I've been here. In the past 20 years, we've never had talks about people going on strike. We've never argued over finances. We've found ways to make things work. Probably 15-ish years ago, we had a real big budget deficit because of cuts that the state made when the state budget really went south. And as a collective group, this whole district agreed to take a pay reduction across the board, from the superintendent all the way down to whatever you consider the most menial tasks that we have. It was the same percentage across the board. And so because of actions like that, we have been able to remain a comprehensive high school district. Over the years that I've been in education, I've heard of other districts talking about cutting libraries, cutting sports, cutting AP classes, cutting musical programs. We don't have that. When you come to Fremont High School, you come to the district, and there are a range of classes. So kids can take choir, kids can take band, kids can take drama, kids can take computer programming, kids can take, like I said, 28 different AP and honors classes, and a full range of athletic programs. So the fact that we are and we remain a comprehensive high school, I think, is still a real value. And when I talk to parents, when I talk to kids, particularly those that are incoming, I encourage them to, when you come to high school, regardless of where you go, get involved, because the more you get involved outside of the classroom, the richer your experience is going to be. And so I think as a district, that commitment to keeping those activities and sort of outside just the traditional straight, you just need to take one English class, but give you some options in English. You need to take one social studies class, you have some options in social studies. I think that's been a very valuable, it's valuable that it's available to the kids at our school and our district. And that's a commitment that our Board of Trustees have had, and the district leadership has had as long as I've been here.
That's great. I mean, it's becoming more and more rare to find schools that really do offer that full array of extracurricular activities. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to find. It's tough to find. So, see, a couple more questions for you. I know that one just off the top of my mind that I like to ask all the principals is about grade schools. It's the classic question, right? And I know that your school is actually doing quite well on the website, right? So would be interested in hearing what your answer would be. How do you feel that grade schools affects your school, either in a negative or a positive way? And just want to hear your general thoughts on on rankings.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you, I don't know how it affects our school, because I think, and I said this when I was at Monte Vista, I say it here, if you go in looking for something in a school, you're going to find it. Whatever that is, you're going to find examples of it. Does that mean that's what that school is? Not necessarily. So, I mean, I think we're an amazing school, and we have a lot to offer, but we also have challenges that we work to overcome. Again, when you talk about our school on the aggregate compared to other schools in the district, we didn't aggregate as high as they did. We also have more challenges that we're facing than they are. Does that make us worse? I don't think so. Does the fact that we do a lot with the challenge we have, does that make us better? No, we have amazing schools. And so for me, it's use things like great schools as a source of information to contextualize it, but I keep going back to find what it's going to be like for your individual kid, because every kid is going to be different. I mean, I think about my two kids and the experience that my daughter has versus my son. They're worlds apart. I mean, they have the same mom, the same dad, they have all the same benefits, all the same challenges, but each one reacts to his or her environment in a different way. And I think that's true here. And one of the things that I've really liked in my time here is that because there's so much diversity here, there's so much opportunity for differences to be celebrated and supported and welcomed, that we have such a range of students that are successful improving from where they are. So yeah, great schools is good in terms of getting information, but if you want to say, well, does Fremont, does the rank match Monte Vista? Right. No, it probably doesn't. But that doesn't paint the whole picture. So use it as a source of information, but really take the other opportunity. come to the parent nights, have your kids do the shelter day, the shadow days, talk to the other parents of students here, because that's where you're going to get your real information.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely feel that scores don't really give the totality of what a school has to offer, right? You really have to go see it for yourself. A couple quick questions, or a couple final questions to wrap up. What's the level of parent involvement like here at this school, and if there was more, how would you utilize it?
That's a great question. I mean, we have an amazing group of committed parents. They tend to gravitate towards areas that are of interest. So we have a cohort that works with the PTSA. Mm-hmm. We have a cohort that works with our athletic boosters, cohort that works with our band boosters. We have our English language learner parents that come and work with our English language program. So we do have, I mean, I'm always impressed by the level of commitment by our parents who are willing to come, give of their time, give of their energy, because I know most of them work outside and they're coming here and giving their time as well. But one of the things I think it's true at most high schools is the parent involvement support isn't what it is at the elementary level. And here it's just, if we had more parent involvement, it would be to continue to have people help get the word out about their experiences, their interpretations, expectations, what it's like for Fremont. So coming to the parent guidance nights, to be there as resources. We have had some of our school site council parents have organized some groups to do with little buttons saying, I'm a parent, ask me questions. Right. Because it's, I think it's probably a challenge in most places, at least in this area, that community isn't what it once was. I mean, think back when this school opened in 1923, it's very much a neighborhood school. Everyone probably knew each other. People were, it's a farming community. But now when you think of Silicon Valley, Sunnyvale's still a relatively small town, but it's a small town right in the middle of this gigantic metropolitan area. Right. So people are so spread out, they don't necessarily have the time to make some of those connections that they might make otherwise. So if there's a way to get more parents to just be here and have conversations with their fellow parents, coming to talk to teachers, I think that's valuable because it helps to build the community of the school. But from day to day, nuts and bolts kind of jobs, there's always things we could find for parents to do in terms of tutoring, helping support in the classroom, helping in the library, and even just more manpower for the groups that are here, our band boosters, our music boosters, our athletic boosters, PTSA, so that we have more people involved and see what it takes to run a comprehensive high school. Because like I said, comprehensive high school is an amazing place, and it offers a lot to kids, but it's a lot of work. Right. And it takes more than just the people here in the school. And that's why I'm so grateful for the parents who are involved and really make some of those things happen. That's amazing. Okay.
Just to wrap up then, what kind of parting thoughts do you have? I'm going to break this up, right? To, number one, maybe parting thought to anybody that's looking to purchase a home inside this area. What would you like to say to them? Putting you on the spot.
The first, because I know it's tough for staff to. Good luck, right? Because it's such an expensive place to live. Right. But if you can make that happen, then it's, again, having worked in the district for so long, I don't think you can make a wrong choice with any of the 5 schools in our district. I'm super excited that my kids are going to come here. But having worked at other schools in the district, I would be just as excited for them to go other places in the district. Right. And so, for me, it's, if you have that opportunity, take advantage of it. But also, you talk to the other people around. Talk to the neighbors. Talk to the people who have kids that are going to that school. What are the things that are challenges? What are the things that are the sort of the benefits of the school? So wherever you're going to go, you're going in with eyes open. Because as I said, if you go looking for something in a school, you're going to find it. Again, I encourage parents look for the positive, because if you look for the positive, you take advantage of the positive. All the schools, Fremont included, your kids are going to have a really rich and really amazing experience.
Totally, and I think it has just as much to do with what happens at home, as well, right, than what happens at school, right?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. But we can't control that. We can only control what's here.
Totally.
And so we try to give as rich an experience and as many opportunities as we possibly can for the widest range of kids.
Awesome. And then how about the members of the community right now that either have children here or will have children here? Any parting thoughts for those people?
Well, if they don't know it already, we hope that we will, if we're not with them already, continue to build partnership. So that as you said, it does depend on what happens at home, but the more we can do things together, it goes back to what I said earlier around our PLCs with our teachers. We really truly believe that our students are going to be more successful the more our teachers work collaboratively together to determine what that is. I'd say the same thing, if our parents are working with us and we're working with our parents, it's going to help their students to have an enriching experience. I mean, the other thing I tell parents all the time, even though it's high school, it is nice for them to come around, go to back to school night, come to see their kids in their different events. I know sometimes schedules can play into that, and there are times because kids are teenagers and wanting that independence, they say, well, we don't really want you here.
Yeah.
But my experience is that even though they say that, they really do appreciate when parents are here and they see them. And sometimes like, I don't want you talking to my teacher, but when kids know that there's a conversation going on about them for them, I mean, it shows that there's value to them and that there's people that are looking out for them. And so the idea of those partnerships is something that is really important to me, and we want to continue to foster those as much as we can.
That's great. Bryan, you're a natural. Thanks so much for taking the time,
okay.
And I'm sure that we'll be chatting soon, very soon.
Okay.
Cool. Well, Bryan Emmert, everybody, principal, Fremont High School here. Danny Gould with the Gould team selling Silicon Valley. We'll catch you in the next one.